Hola, buenos dias. This is Kai Pancho with the Weekly Pele Report, March 3rd, 2015. And it's a cloudy, windy day out there, so I'm doing a little software action. And actually, I've got this all set up here for the full moon. As you can see, there is the little moon. Here, let's expand it a little bit. A full moon is basically when the Earth is right in between the sun and the moon. Now, I don't know if we can see it here exactly. Yeah, this is not an actual model, but the moon is a little bit below the ecliptic. The ecliptic is this line across here, this horizontal line, where most of the planets, you can see Pluto is up above the ecliptic. Yeah, here I'm going to make it, see how exact I can get. Oh my God. Come on. There. Yeah, this is the ecliptic. It's the apparent path of the sun, or the Earth around the sun, and all the planets are pretty much on this ecliptic. You can see Ceres and Eris is a little off the ecliptic. Pluto is a little above the ecliptic. It has a weird orbit. But what you can see now is as I turn this, what's coming up next, this is, we're coming up to the full moon on March 5th. It's at 14 degrees, 50 minutes of Virgo is the sign, behind the moon. The sun is traveling through the sign of Pisces. Okay, so this is March 5th that we're looking at right now. Now I'm going to get it off the ecliptic. But what happens is one more month from now, the next time that this moon goes all the way around, is going to be an eclipse. We're coming up to a solar eclipse and then a lunar eclipse. And since I don't know that I'll do this software every week, I'm going to just go here forward a little bit. Let's get this baby moving. Now you can see that moon is going around the Earth. We're past the full moon, and the Earth is moving on. This is, we're going a couple days at a time, but you can also see this line up here, of Venus, Mars, and Uranus. I'm going to have to stop this thing because it's going too far off whack. We're at March 10th already. Let's just stop that. Stop that. Yeah. So what's going on here else that we can see, yeah, is it's a very powerful time right now. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit here, okay, so that you can really see a couple of things. Number one, Jupiter trine Saturn, trine Uranus, and Mars is also in this flow. Yes, we have Mars is exactly trine to Jupiter on Monday. Next Monday, Mars trine Jupiter from the from the Earth perspective. So exactly 120 degrees, and you can see this grand trine between Jupiter, Uranus, and Saturn. It's very loose right now. If Saturn was just a little farther, like 10 more degrees, it would be exact. 14, 14, 14. Right now Saturn is about 4 degrees. So it's not an exact trine, but it's pretty darn close, ladies and gentlemen. The other thing that, of course, we can see here is that from the Earth perspective, if we went back to where it was, today and this week, the Earth would be in this alignment. We would have a Venus conjunct Uranus. Yeah? And that is exact on Wednesday, March 4th. Then we have the full moon happening on Thursday. And what you cannot see in this model, but I sure wish you could, yeah, is that, holy jeez, stop it, stop it, stop it. They don't have Chiron. You see, Chiron is its orbit goes between the orbit of Saturn and Uranus. It would be right about where my arrow is right now, because on Saturday there's going to be a direct alignment between the Earth, the Sun, and Chiron, the wounded healer, which is in the sign of Pisces, right along with Neptune. I've been talking a lot about the Neptune-Chiron conjunction going on over there in the sign of Pisces. And so I'm going to just jump in front of the screen right now because I want to talk to you about the meaning of, of what this is all about here. Yeah? All right.
Okay, found a spot out here. This could be short and fast, but it ain't gonna be sweet. Let's face it. I didn't even talk about, this south node of the moon, Mars conjunction that's going on. Because you couldn't see in that software, there's no moon's nodes. The north and south node of the moon is where the path of the moon crosses the ecliptic. And that south node of the moon, I've been talking about it for a long time. It's in the sign of Aries. It's the dragon's tail. It has to do with the past. And it has to do with our emotional issues, which I'm going to be talking a lot about here. Because we've got, the south node of the moon, conjunct Uranus, conjunct Mars, conjunct Venus. These are all together, bundled up in the sign of Aries. And I just got finished talking at the Envision Festival about this, how it was a very special time because last week the sun was conjunct Neptune, and now the sun is moving from Neptune to join together with Chiron, the wounded healer. And that wounded healer, sun conjunction in the sign of Pisces has to do with healing all the wounds that have to do with what? The Piscean age. The last 2,000 years of patriarchal, man-made religions, laying a bunch of shame and a bunch of guilt around what? Hello? Our sexuality. Somebody at the festival asked me, what is this Venus-Mars conjunction about? And I have a Venus-Mars conjunction in my chart, and what's this and that and the other? And I talk about 3 Venus-Mars conjunctions going on this year. Very powerful. Venus-Mars traveling together all through August, September, and October. That's why I'm doing all these workshops this year is on the masculine and the feminine. And this is now the conjunction's happening in the sign of Aries. It's time for a new definition, a new recognition, a new understanding of the masculine and the feminine connected to Aries. Aries is our animal, instinctive, impulsive, spontaneous self. We are spiritual beings, multi-dimensional, 12, 13, 14, 20-dimensional beings, beyond our imagination, beyond our ability to comprehend, that we shrink ourselves into a third-dimensional experience. Masculine, feminine, light, dark, sun, moon, black and white, plus and minus. We squeeze ourselves into 3 tiny little dimensions to have an experience of time and space. And we give ourselves an ego, and the ego's job is to keep this animal body alive so that our spirit can have a third-dimensional experience. Yeah? So that's the way I see it in New Paradigm Astrology. And so we are spiritual beings in an animal body. And the Piscean age and the patriarchy for 6,500 years of male-dominated, female-suppressed, energy that has been going on this planet has put a lot of shame around our physical bodies, around the material earthly experience. Pisces is ether. Heaven is out there and up there and away from here. And you need to become a monk or a nun or a priest or a guru and live in an ashram and not have any money and not have any sex and not have anything to do with the city and with action and with business. in order to be spiritual. So this is like what is being broken out of. The new paradigm is breaking into a new understanding of, first of all, and it begins with our sexuality, with our body, with our Aries energy. And it's not happening. I just came from Envision, okay? Envision, right? And there's these big signs, no nudity on the beach. Yeah? I'm going out to the River of Stars, and it's an astrology conference on the progressive big island of Hawaii, yeah, in a clothing optional, resort. And there's, it's put out now that we have to wear swimsuits, even at a clothing optional swimming pool, yeah, And now I'm also doing a sweat lodge, and in the sweat lodge now they're wanting to, have people wear swimsuits for a sweat lodge. And I'm just like, this new paradigm, it's very interesting because we're coming into this age of Aquarius. And Aquarius is air, fixed air. It's thinking, it's the third eye, it's intellectual, it's conceptual, it's theoretical. And we can get into all kinds of concepts and theories and live in little bubbles and little air castles in the sky where we think we're progressive and we think that we're awakened and we're liberated and we're enlightened. And this is like Aquarius, and Pisces is way out there. Aries is boom. Let's get real. Let's get down. Let's get honest. Yeah, let's be what we are. In this body, in this plane. We are sexual beings, we are men, we are women, we are either or, some both, she, men, whatever, It's just, we are here. And it's very interesting because the sun coming around to Chiron is really a time of healing our wounds. As a result of religion, as a result of conditioning, as a result of guilt, as a result of shame, as a result of separating. Yeah? As above and below, as separating the masculine from the feminine, as separating spirit from matter, as separating heaven from earth. Now is a time. This week is a time. And we can heal these wounds by what? This is the thing. Facing them. Yeah, baby. Face your body and face your issues around your sexuality. Face your issues around being in a human body with desires, with instincts, with impulses. You are not just a talking head, yeah? A head on a stick. We are emotional, physical beings. And it's really, the challenge with Pisces is avoidance. Avoid it. Hey, if we don't see genitals, then maybe they don't exist and we don't have to deal with our issues around genitals. Let's cover up, hide things, that we don't, that make us a little uncomfortable or bring up a past memory or an issue or a family thing or, some religious, shame or whatever. It's like, let's just cover up this and cover up that. But you know what? Aries is not going to let us do that. And this Venus coming around with Uranus, Mars coming up to Uranus, it's like now is the time to get slapped in the face. No more avoiding, no more denying. These are times when our sleep patterns can be disturbed, yeah, and we can start getting irritable, we can start losing sleep, we can start getting our adrenal glands, like burned out. This is like a real, it's a very interesting time how life, which I call God, God, Goddess is life, right? Yeah. Life teaches us, life holds us, we come from life, we go to life. Life is the master, life is intelligent. As astrology shows us, life does not make accidents. There are no coincidences. And all these timings of all these planetary lineups and this solar eclipse, this month of March is intense. It's the buildup of over 2.5 years of Uranus-Pluto square. And then we have an eclipse happening. Yeah, and that lunar eclipse is right on the moon's nodes, right on the Uranus-Pluto square. This is a huge time. And it's a huge time where we can have breakthroughs. But these breakthroughs are not given. We still have free will. We can avoid them. We can deny them. I look at it like the times tables. You know, you got to memorize your times tables. You know, and it's a drag, and it's an issue. You know, you got to learn something. Let's maybe like make it riding a bicycle. You know, it's like, you know, you get on the bike and you fall down and it hurts and you scrape yourself, and it's like, I don't want to get on that bicycle again. You know, or it's just like school. You know, like I have tests and I have to, you know, I have to graduate and I've got these issues, and we want to avoid. I don't want to do the times tables. I don't want to ride the bicycle. I don't want to go to school. You know, I want to ignore and avoid these things. But you know what? We're in the school of planet Earth. We came to the third dimension. So avoiding, you know, what makes us uncomfortable, or what requires effort, or what requires willpower to look at, to face, you know, this is how we grow. The force of evolution, Pluto, is now square Uranus, telling us to wake up. And part of that waking up process is facing our issues. Issues. This is one of my favorite words. I was, you know, laying in bed thinking about this last night. Issues. We could say that when you come to enlightenment, you don't have any issues. Yeah? It's like, you know, things become non-issues. Like, that's not an issue for me. Nudity is not an issue for me. You know? Times tables are not an issue for me. You know, school is not an issue for me because I don't have an emotional charge. I don't have a belief system. I don't have some kind of block, yes, or filter separating me from fully experiencing, you know, this moment, because something is pulling me out of the now. We make issues out of non-issues through resistance and through fear and through guilt and shame and all of the judgments that we have about what is going on around us. So I'm just really encouraging, you know, at this time, you know, to really see this is a time of being irritable, of being pressured, of being pushed. And I'm saying that life is pressuring us, life is pushing us, life is, you know, making us irritable and tired, so that it throws off these layers, you know, of, oh, you know, if I was, you know, had a nice full stomach and, you know, was feeling good and just had an orgasm and everything was fine in my world, I wouldn't bother caring. I don't care about this, I don't care about that, I don't care about the other thing. When you're feeling good, it's easy to avoid and deny problems and issues. But life is now like stressing us and pushing us and making us tired and irritable and adrenal exhaustion and everything. And so like we're all getting like so sensitive. Sun Chiron in Pisces. We're all like, you know, no immune system. We're all thin-skinned and we're all like, you know, and Aries is just like a pin cushion. It's like sleeping on a bed of nails these days, you know, and just like walking through life like a pincushion and have everybody just like bother you until you get angry. Your anger can be an issue. We can have issues around anger. I'm upset. I don't like this. You know, Well, let's make it an issue. You know, that's bad. That's wrong to have that feeling or to have that desire or to have that instinct or to have that reaction. You know, this is Saturn in Sagittarius now. It's going to be there for 2.5 years. Let's look at what we believe and how our beliefs condition our emotional stability, our mental, emotional psychology, and how comfortable in joy, pain, sorrow, or anger we are. There's a connection between the beliefs and the state of being that you are. And this is this grand trine. This is a time of great awakening, but like I say, sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes, you know, somebody's going to trigger us, and we didn't know we had an issue until that person pissed us off, and now I have an issue where I didn't have an issue before. This Pele report could give you an issue. You could have an issue with me, right? You know, I mean, it's just like, you know, we're all using each other now as mirrors to become more aware of our issues, so that we can heal these issues and move into a new paradigm and move into a new reality and leave our issues in the old paradigm. Ow! Yeah? That's like what this week is about. And the full moon, boom, hello, illumination. The full moon is really going to like pump us up. This is a wild time, man, I'm telling you. You know, Thursday's the full moon, and then, you know, Saturday, this weekend, you know, we got more things coming on. Mars-Uranus conjunction, and trine Jupiter. I mean, it's great. It's not easy, but it's great. And coming out the other side of the tunnel is going to, like, be so liberating and so outrageous. And I'm telling you, we make it through this month of March, and it's just like, oh, yeah, that's what it made. It's also... This can also be a time, and I just thought of the movie An Officer and a Gentleman. It's kind of an old movie with Richard Gere in it, you know. But the guy goes into boot camp, you know. And they're just like, boot camp. This month can be like boot camp. Aries is the soldier. We're all in boot camp. Look at it that way. For the month of March, you are getting pushed to your freaking limit. How much can you stand? How much can you take before you fight back? Before you lose your temper? Before you It's push, 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 push. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Oh my God. Ow! So, the mantra for this week, yeah? The time is now to be who I am. Fully expressed as woman or man. Releasing the guilt of man-made religion to be an example for the next generation. We got a lot to let go of. It's got to come up in order to go. When it comes up, when you attach to it, it's an issue. When you let it go, it becomes a non-issue. I encourage you. Let it go. Lighten up. It's a great time to lighten up. Like, throw off the burdens of the past and step into your glory as a beautiful being. That's what this new paradigm can be about. Yeah, just breathe into that one a little bit. The time is now to be who I am. Fully expressed as a woman or man. Releasing the guilt of man-made religion to be an example for the next generation. Good luck, namaste, aloha, and so much love.